Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Unbothered podcast, where we like to chat about MTV's The Challenge, and now CBS is The Challenge. Anything that's challenge related, we're here. And of course, it is the third episode of a new season of The Challenge USA2, which is airing on CBS. And I believe the unedited version comes out on Paramount Plus the next day, which is when I watch it because I love all the curse words.
And no commercials.
No commercials. Yeah, I hate commercials. Though apparently it has been recording, so I think it's also coming on MTV.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think they've been airing on MTV because I have the challenge set up to record for new episodes on MTV, not CBS, and it's on my DVR. So
Okay. Good to know.
options. Yeah,
Yeah.
good to know. So this new episode that we're going to talk about, forewarning for anybody that's listening to this, this particular podcast episode is going to be a little different, just due to schedules and the fact that the show is airing twice a week at the moment. We are essentially recording a recap for episodes 3 and 4 separately, so they will be merged together. So if you're wondering why Frankie's not going to be in the second half of the episode, just randomly disappears, and me and Tia may look a little different or sound a little different, that's why. Keep you on your toes.
And we might have Caitlin. So
yeah, and Caitlin might pop in sometime. So
right.
just want to keep you on your toes. So this episode is called
Caitlin and I are interchangeable.
Yeah. You guys are like the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Heads, where you can like take off all the features.
Yeah.
And then you can put different ones on to make them look different clothes, disguises. Stole some polyjuice potion from Harry Potter. I'm watching a lot of Harry Potter lately. Anyway,
we just went off the rails.
Yeah, it's okay. So the episode is Civil War. I really think they should have titled it The Redemption of Paulie, or Paulie's Redemption or something, because the episode was heavily focused on Paulie and that he's not quite the same energy that we saw a few years ago between Final Reckoning to War of the Worlds 2. And it's interesting. I just want to say for myself, I've never disliked Paulie. I've not enjoyed, some of his behaviors on TV or whatever, but I never hated him. I never fuck him, blah, blah, blah. It's just so funny to me how short the memory spans are of the fan world.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 weeks ago, people were bitching that he was going to be on TV, and now they're like, oh my God,
I love him.
Oh, we've forgotten everything. Like, what's short attention spans?
I'm kind of like that. No, I never hated him. I always liked that he makes Cara happy.
Yeah.
So if she's happy and loves him, we're going to be happy and love him too. But he was obnoxious, and
he could be.
I don't know what he was like on Big Brother, so I don't know if that was normal for him. But I thought this episode was great, and it did make me look at him a lot differently. Mm-hmm. Not that I didn't like him, but now I like him.
I think I've always liked him. If I didn't, and someone remind me when I said something bad about him. But in honor of him, like leopard or whatever animal print.
Was he like that on Big Brother?
I don't remember it, but that season was so long ago.
Oh.
I could barely remember what I did yesterday, much less
okay.
Ethan's back.
Well, anyway.
He definitely has a different vibe. He's got a different look. Like I said, it's very like Kiefer Sutherland from the Lost Boys, but very also in touch with his, his sensitive side, which I think is great. And we'll definitely get into that too.
I can't say I'm a fan of his clothing style, but
I don't love the fashion choices.
Yeah.
Mostly it's the colors, I think. If it was pink or fun disco-y colors, I'd probably like it more.
I'm happy he's happy. So.
Yeah. And apparently it's a little chilly where they are, so I guess those little coats are coming in handy.
Oh, I made a note about the weather on my notes. So, yeah.
So jumping right into the recap, the episode opens up with them returning to the house, sans Janae, because she got sent home in the previous elimination against Tori. And then Tori gets pissy with Amanda from the jump because over a vote that didn't matter.
Right.
I don't know. She's very upset with Amanda, who has clearly never ever been on Tori's side. And she's just like, bitch, what do you want from me? What do you think, Frankie?
Yep.
Nothing. It's just the same old Tori being fake, whatever. Amanda. But during their whole argument, I was just thinking that how cool Amanda's hoodie was and how I wanted it.
How what?
How cool her hoodie was and how I wanted it.
I'm going to say that, Amanda kept saying, I'm not your fake friend. I'm not a fake friend. That is one thing about Amanda. She's not going to be fake. She's just going to tell you to your face if she hates you or doesn't like you or whatever. So
yep,
I'll give her that.
It's to her detriment. Mm-hmm.
But it's also two people I don't really care about arguing. So
it's not all about you.
That was actually really funny. She said that.
I don't know how I missed it when I was watching it. I think I got distracted or somebody like needed my attention. But when I saw that clip later on Twitter, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Her face was like, oh, how do you know it's not about me?
Oh, she was so pissed. We'll get to that. Tori was so pissed when she said that. It was funny. Why? So kind of jumping ahead. So we were talking about Paulie. Why did he talk to Tori about that? Like
I wrote that down too.
Like anyone else in the house. Why did he go to her? And she was, I don't know.
She was Tori about it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't show us the beginning of how that conversation started. So who knows what they were talking about that segued into him having that discussion. But I did write in my notes, it was like, it's very strange that of all the people he has this conversation with, it's Tori.
Right.
It's weird. But again, they didn't show us enough of how it segued in there. Still
we need
weird.
to interview him.
We do.
Ask him. Yeah.
We need to get him to actually, respond and show up. But that's something we'll have to work on. So then after the Amanda and Tori argument, we see there is a rookie female alliance that has formed between the likes of Desi, Chanel, Tiffany, Michaela, Alyssa 1 and 2, as I call them, and Michelle. And I love a good female alliance.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And then we see Corey saying he wants to work with Bananas and Wes because the vets are outnumbered, but he's nervous. He's like, they've never had my back. I'm like, you've never had theirs either. Like your second season was all about, I'm taking out the vets. Team Young Buck gonna fuck shit up. And then you kept getting sent home. So I think the feeling's mutual. Poor Corey. And did he get sick or something? He just like
his voice
randomly in the episode.
Yeah. He sounded like what's her face in in the House Bunny.
Yeah.
I'm not voting for you.
And then we see that Paulie
That's
has
one of my favorite movies. Sorry.
Yes, that is a good movie. I love that with oh my god, I can't believe I just blanked on her name.
Anna Faris.
Anna Faris, thank you. I was like, I almost wanted to say Kendrick, and I'm like, that is not right.
Oh no.
At all. Anna Faris, yeah, that's definitely a good movie. I like that movie. Then we see Paulie has a personal conversation with Tori about, his energy and like his sexuality, and he doesn't really come out and say it, but it alludes to either he is kind of saying he's maybe bisexual or even pansexual, or he is just more in touch with his feminine energy and being able to express that, which you can have that energy without necessarily wanting to have sex with the same gender as you. But, and then I guess what he posted like on social media later kind of confirmed that it was more like bisexual, pansexual.
Look, like I told you guys earlier, I feel like we always kind of knew Paulie was open-minded about things. I don't know why. I mean, I don't want to say that part is not shocking to me. I don't even want to say it's shocking. The better part of it to me is he just seems happier. Like,
Yeah.
does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, like more sure of himself.
yeah, he's not angry and everything because I think he feels comfortable now in himself. And it was nice. It was nice to, and then Cara made a reel or whatever saying that, it was something that she's known about for a long time, and she was happy for him. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. So
I think I missed that.
yeah, yeah, it was on there today. I saw it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Well, go look at it because it's there.
I will. I definitely will. And yeah, I agree. Like he's always kind of given off like having that more fluid energy. And I think maybe I have to do the exact math, but I think him being in his 30s now has a lot to do with it. And I only say that as somebody who's currently in their 30s. Being in your 30s is different than your 20s because you do become more sure of yourself. You're more willing to accept parts of you that you were unsure of when you were younger, or maybe you felt shame about. You just get to your 30s and eventually just stop giving a fuck. You have something to look forward to, Frankie.
That is accurate.
You just stop caring as much and you become more comfortable and sure of yourself, and you're more willing to put that out there.
Wait till you get in your 50s and you don't give a fuck about anything.
Scared.
I'm like, if I'm gonna care less than I do last year, my 30s, like, God.
Yeah.
For it.
Just wait.
Just wait till you guys see all like new messages.
Oh God. We're gonna be like, Frankie.
Jesus. Is that even possible to be shocked by you?
No.
No.
I do also like that he discusses that he worked on himself. He went to therapy. He's not the same individual in the way that he reacts and handles situations. And I think that is an important conversation to have. And I do enjoy that as a society, we're becoming more open about talking about therapy and, it being more available and people openly admitting that they go. I've been going for years. So like, I love it. I love this look for him. And I do hope he is now going to be cast more regularly on other versions of the challenge, whether it's on MTV or CBS.
I agree. Sure. I'd like to see him back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure right now, if Caitlin was there, she'd be like, TJ said, we hope to see you in the future, Paulie. So that's a good sign.
We really hope to see you.
It was cute when Paulie hugged him, though.
He did.
It's like, it's good to see you, Teach.
It was nice.
Yeah.
I'm still mad at Michelle. So we get to the daily, which is called Capsized. And other than the water being freezing cold, like it apparently was, this looks like a daily I would actually really enjoy because it involves swimming and memory.
So I wrote down when they panned up, that was a long swim. And they each had to swim out there, and then each of them had to swim to the buoy and back. Like, I'm a good swimmer, and that was a lot. I was even like, and then if you put me in cold water, like once I'm cold, my body ceases to function. I can't talk. I can't. Yeah. So that's horrible because I feel like I am a strong swimmer, but if I was doing that, I don't know that I could function, especially with memory too.
I don't mind the cold. I get used to it very fast, but
my body stops.
Like, I'm sure the length of the swim doesn't.
If I'm just like hanging out and I get cold, I literally can't talk. It's the weirdest thing. It's like my jaw clenches up if I'm real cold. Anyway,
we're just gonna roll you.
I just pulled my charger out. Let me.
Oh no, we're gonna just roll you in whale blubber anytime we have to go somewhere cold.
There we go.
And you just be like, I'm very toasty all the time. Frankie, what did you think of this challenge?
I'm terrible at both of those things. Actually, I don't know how to swim, so I would drown.
So
you don't know how to tell. Oh, I think I knew that actually.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew that.
Don't ever put Frankie on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my biggest weakness.
Good to know. Or I'll teach you how to swim ahead of time. So you can at least like float if you need to. So you don't actually drown.
You doggy paddle.
Yeah. I'll teach you. Don't worry.
Come visit.
It was cool.
I'll teach you to swim.
There you go. Tia's got a pool.
I'm actually very clumsy, so I think flipping the boat over would just happen naturally for me.
You just capsize it on your own. So that's essentially what happens is the teams basically have to flip over their boats, memorize the flag order that's printed on the bottom of their boats. They cannot swim under to memorize it. They have to flip it. Each person on the team has to swim at least once to the buoy and back to collect the physical flags that they then have to put in the correct order at the top of the boat. I don't know what the proper verbiage is. I'm not a boat person like that. Red goes first, and they are communicating very well. I think they picked a good 3 people for the memorization part, which was Paulie, Bananas, and Michelle. But Michelle fucks it up.
Yep, she did.
She fucks up the top flags, which affects their time overall because it is a timed event. You have to get as many flags right as possible, as fast as possible out of all the other teams. And her team is like, motherfucker.
Well, I feel like the red team was kind of chaotic. And then the blue team had a plan. They were calm. They like executed well. And then the green team comes in and I don't know. They were just terrible.
They just
like, what is going on with this team?
Poor Wes. I'm like, imagine being like Wes and Tyler being the swimmers that they are and stuff, but they're on this team of just trying to put the flags in order and they're getting capsized.
I actually had a question on here about Tyler. Was Tyler liked on Big Brother and whatever? Because I kind of like him. Like, I don't know anything about him.
I don't know. I only watched his the All-Star season with him on there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone liked him.
Okay. Yeah, I'm liking him. That was just, that was a random thought, but yeah.
I made
Did y'all see Fessy doing his show off flip off the...
No, I ignore him.
Well, that was funny because he did a flip or back flip or something off the thing into the water. But who did the floppy fish thing? Did you
see that too? I was more interested in that.
Who was that?
Jesse's backflip. I don't know. I have to go rewatch.
I was cracking up. I was like, who was that?
I'll have to go back and look. I did write in my notes though, this Walmart ammo with the weird eyebrows. Can we not see his confessionals anymore? LOL.
Thank you.
Just Sebastian.
He was just as weird on Survivor, so.
And his face looks perpetually sunburnt.
He does live in Florida and work on a boat apparently, so that's
right. But in this challenge house, there doesn't seem to be any sun. Why are you getting so sunburned?
I think it's just his natural Florida skin.
It's just been burned so many times by the Florida sun. It just doesn't go away.
By the way, Frankie, so Amanda can't swim either? She said she can't swim, or she just didn't want to swim.
That's all the time my mom was like, there's not really any like place here to go swimming in Colorado, so I don't blame her for not knowing how to swim. But she knows how to swim. I just think she sucks at it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I read one of her tweets and she was like, oh, Tyler was just paying me back because he had to carry me for the last challenge. He was just paying me back for how I saved him.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Like I often forget about that because I grew up, any place I've lived has been close to a major body of water, or we've had swimming pools and stuff. So I learned how to swim from a very early age. And sometimes I forget that not everybody has that opportunity, or they've never lived near a body of water that isn't a pool.
My parents had to swim in before we could walk. You just did. Like
I don't even remember learning how to swim. I just remember swimming.
Yeah, same.
We'll teach you, Frankie.
I love swimming. So I'm telling you, Frankie, come visit me. We'll get in the pool and I'll teach you. I'm just going to throw you in and let you figure it out.
Make sure to have my will ready.
Yeah. Have your will ready. Your DNR, if that's how you want to go as well.
Yeah.
I would save you. Don't worry.
So at the end of the daily, TJ announces blue and red got all the flags correct. So it comes down to time because green only got like 16 out of 20. And of course, blue wins because their time was almost 5 minutes faster than red.
Yeah.
And granted, I don't know how long it took Michelle to correct her mistake. even if she had gotten it right the first time, they still wouldn't have won. But it's not a great move. It's not a good look. She's very lucky people wanted Bananas out more than they wanted to get rid of her, because I'd have voted for her ass if she was on my team. We lost. I'd be like, I'm voting in Michelle. Anybody else? Anybody else? She fucked it up. Anybody else? So during the deliberation between the blue team, all of the CBS people, they want to vote Bananas. Mostly that's who they're going for. They're aiming for Bananas. They don't even care so much about the female. Tori is trying, but her and Corey are absolutely in the minority, and Corey is in no way willing to put his ass on the line for Bananas. So it ends up being 5 votes for Bananas, 5 out of 8. And I think Amanda gets what, 4 out of 8 or something? She
Yeah,
just
I don't
happens to
remember.
get the majority of female names. And Bananas is furious. It is hilarious to me.
You know, yeah, he just went on and on and on. It was funny, the music that they put to it when he was just jabbering on about that. But the funniest part to me was I actually sat there and was like, did I just agree with Fessy on something? Because Fessy was like, you've done however many seasons and like you should know this and
This is the
whatever.
game, bro. Yeah.
I know. I was like, oh damn, I'm agreeing with Fessy.
I made a
He was
note
right.
about that too.
Yeah.
I was like, not Fessy saying more than 5 words in a sentence, and I actually agree with him.
Yes.
I think Bananas is like a big baby when things don't go his way. Like
He
I don't
is. Oh my God.
like
Because if anybody else had been voted in, he'd have been like, chill, man, it's the game. You should have been more popular.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. Like when it happens to other people, he just like gets annoyed by them doing it, and then he turns around to the same exact thing. So
Of course. Of
Yep.
course.
I mean, he's like, the fact that my only 2 allies is Paulie and Dusty. And I'm like,
Dude,
that should be a problem for you.
Dusty is obsessed. What?
Like
just
heart
gonna
eye
say-
emojis.
Yes. His
Remember-
hero.
yeah, his hero. I was like, okay, calm down.
They should
Oh.
have played when he said that. They should have played like a quick, like clip it montage of Dusty looking at Bananas or Bananas looking at Dusty, and they play Enrique Iglesias. I can be your hero, baby. I would have died.
Missed opportunity.
Oh my God. Production, call me. I'm full of good ideas.
That's funny though.
He's my hero. And Jemmy posted on Twitter. She was like, if that is your hero, you gotta address something, which I
You need
agree
to
with.
Rethink your life
Yeah,
choices.
that should not be your hero, my dude. I could understand being like, I'm such a huge fan of the show that just being on this with the legend is just mind blowing. That I would never
Yeah.
in my life call Bananas my hero.
Yeah.
That's probably why
bit
he got
much.
casted. And like
Huh?
his interviews. That's probably why he got casted. He was probably kissing everyone's ass in
I
interviews.
love Johnny Bananas. My name's Dusty from Amazing Race.
I'm not gonna lie, I would be starstruck and I would be,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't, Bananas
I
would
wouldn't
not
talk
be
about it in my confessionals.
the hero person or whatever. And Frankie, it's funny because you said that you liked Dusty's partner better on Amazing Race. And I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then it dawned on me who his partner was. I loved his partner. They should have picked him over Dusty.
That's what I
His
was
partner-
saying.
I know. I went back and I looked up. I was like, oh yeah, that guy. So Nadine, if you don't know who he is, he was wrongfully convicted for a crime and went to jail for like 10 years. Such a sweet guy. He was so
Wow.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they
So
should have
they
cast
could've took
him.
I know, much better
That'd have been a
story.
fun story. Not fun,
Fun
but
story.
cool story. Sorry.
Interesting
Not
story.
fun. It's not a fun story to have to tell.
And he was cute too. So
Oh, but that helps everything.
bonus.
I think it's interesting that once they decided they wanted to put in Bananas, that they all were like, I think Paulie could take him out. Paulie was like,
it was between
no.
Paulie and Josh.
Yeah, I was just
yeah, because they
like,
wanted to make it a red guy on their team.
Yeah. Well, I
I'm
mean,
like, Dusty flies under the radar. Like, how funny would it have been to put Dusty in against Bananas?
yeah. Well, it's
But
funny
they
that
wanted him to be.
Bananas wanted Monty, right? Wasn't it Monty
Yeah,
that he wanted? Or no, he wanted Tyler because he said Monty
or
was so
Monty.
much bigger than him. But we
Mhm.
haven't seen what Monty can do. So
Right. And
I
I
don't know if
don't
he's
think
any good.
Tyler would have been a smart choice because Tyler is not stupid, and he may not be bulky, but he has like a different type of athleticism. He's almost like a Jay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't underestimate him either.
True.
I think
Yeah.
Bananas is just scrambling because he doesn't like going into eliminations. Eliminations are a crapshoot, and he's not that. I think he's like even in his elimination record. Like, he
Well,
does not dominantly win or lose.
and he's older now.
Yeah. Like you said, I'm an
So
old man in a young man's game.
yeah.
Didn't Alyssa call him grandpa?
I do like how
He's
Amanda
40, right?
Yeah,
Is
he said he was 40.
Okay.
I do like how Amanda was in the red group conversation about who to vote for, and it just reminded
That
me
was
of that
funny.
scene in Mean Girls. She doesn't even go here. And Amanda's just
pretty
giggling
funny.
in the corner. She's like, I really don't care whose team I'm on as long as it's not a female vote.
Hey, who chose oh, I guess we haven't gotten to it yet when the names came up. Who chose Chanel? Did I miss that? Because she only got one vote. It was like a throwaway, I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't show who it was.
I wonder who it was that picked her.
So I was looking out for it too. Also.
Me too. I wish they would at least show it to the viewers.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
curious about that.
I am interested. I was thinking of this as I was watching it. Like, I don't understand why all 7 people on the red team and Amanda didn't collectively vote on one specific guy on the green team that Bananas wanted. So that way it at least significantly increased the chances of that person being called, because then now you have, oh my God, that's my dog. Sorry. He's whining for attention. Because Matt has Sookie outside. So that would have only left 6 people on the green side to vote, and chances are all 6 of them were not going to vote the same way, especially if they're voting for dudes on the red team. They probably would have split between Paulie and Josh. Granted, the same name could have still been pulled anyway, but at least one person had 7 chances better than the other guys. That's what they should have done. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I like that the vote is private though, because even if you say that you're going to go along and do that, you can get in there and just do whatever willy-nilly you want to do. So
no, I agree. I don't know. I think it would have been it would have been in Amanda, Wes's, and the entire red team's best interest to vote somebody in from the green side. But I guess maybe Wes would look at it as, even though Bananas is my ally, if there's one less dude on the green side, then that means next time we lose, there's only 2 options instead of 3, and they're going to come for me. So
yeah,
it is, you got to make it to the end. Because we didn't even know if they make it to the end as teams, since there's only going to be one male and one female winner. So this could all shake up at some point in time. Unfortunately for Paulie, his name gets pulled from, I guess, what is it called? The hopper? I call it the lottery machine. It's called the hopper. His name gets pulled out. I think he had 3 votes. Him and Josh had 3. I think Monty had like 4.
Mm-hmm.
There was one female, which was Chanel, and it was Paulie's name that was pulled. Rigged. Challenge gods did this on purpose.
Right.
Not really. I'm just being a conspiracy theorist.
Like me now, it's rigged.
Well, we know they rigged stuff for Tori in the past. So anyway.
Yeah, and apparently this is, I mean, I guess I can understand it's a little bit similar of a challenge to the one that they did against each other in Final Reckoning. There's just no milk and cookies involved. I'm not a fan of this elimination because it is literally a game of chance.
Well, so I was going to say though, I almost
mental
I like that
enhancement.
they're doing different
Yeah, I like
challenges.
that.
I feel like it's bringing, I don't want to say more fun, but I don't
Less
know.
predictability.
Yeah. I see what you're saying though. That's why I don't like the hopper though, because it's just a game of chance instead of people straight up voting, you're going in. And
Yeah,
I don't like that where it just leaves it up to,
yeah,
whatever. But
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I,
So essentially they have one arm tied up behind, like above them, where there's a bucket, and they have to toss these bean bags onto a sensor board to cut off these flames that is melting this ice block under their feet. They're both doing very well accurately. Unfortunately, Paulie misses the last one, so his flames do not turn off for the
cannot
ice.
believe he missed that one.
I'm like, God, I'm like, you know what? That would happen to me. I would get 14 out of 15. And it would, because I'd be so nervous knowing that last one is the most
That last
important.
one.
I would fuck it up. I would fuck it up for myself. But I mean, he
tell you what,
endured
though,
for a long time
38 minutes.
with a
Do you know
melting
how
ice block,
hard? Do you know how hard that is to hold your arm up for 38 minutes
like, and not move
and not move? Like if I just
on
did this for
solid
like
ground.
a minute, I'd probably be like, you know what, my
All
arm's
right,
starting to.
I'm
I'm
done.
just gonna quit.
I'm
Yeah,
going home.
we're done.
Send me my check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So
fish guts. Come on.
yeah.
Didn't just be water.
Ew, that's gross. So unfortunately Paulie does lose, which makes it really sad because I like having Paulie around. At the very least, he's an entertaining person. He's entertaining, he's not boring,
Right.
he will always surprise you. But the way that he left was really nice. He was
Oh yeah.
smiling and waving. He gave TJ a really big hug. Him and Bananas, like, dapped it up, hugged or whatever. And Bananas had some positive things to say about Paulie. Again, how the turns table, as they say. Because
How the
wasn't that long
turntables.
ago, Bananas was still ragging on Paulie. And speaking of ragging on Paulie, Devin is still doing it. He's getting eaten alive on Twitter about it too.
I'm glad he is too, because I love Devin, but shut up. Like,
Right, like you weren't even
why
there.
even insinuate yourself into this? Like, shut
He
up.
said, he was like, this guy trolled for a half a decade. And I'm like, bro, you can just say 4 to 5 years. Like, you're trying to make it sound way longer than it is, just to get cast back. And then when he does, he shits the bed. Everybody's like, isn't that what you did? Didn't you have to beg to get put back on? And then the minute you won, you got tossed to the side and you haven't been back on the show since then.
How did he shit the bed? He held his arm up for 38 minutes on this
This is
melting
coming
ice.
from the
It wasn't
same
like,
person who beat Bananas in a light bright competition. Like, I mean, I thought it was hilarious when he won and sent Bananas home, because Bananas was like, oh my God, Devin sent me home. But let's
right.
not act like the competition Devin sent Bananas home in was significantly harder than this one. It was a light bright competition.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm glad he's getting eaten
If
alive.
Devin and Paulie had to go up against each other now, who was winning?
I think it depends on the type of elimination, but I think it would be very close. Because even though Devin talks about how much smarter he is, even though he then says he's really not that smart, Paulie is also very intelligent. He just doesn't advertise it like that. And I think he's very good at puzzles and strategy. We already know that Paulie is in very good physical condition. Devin's not in bad physical condition anymore. And Paulie probably has more muscle mass, but they're similar in size.
I'm taking
It would really
Paulie.
depend. If it was like a pole wrestle, I think Devin would get eaten though.
Yeah.
But
it was nice the way he went out.
Yeah.
He was very gracious.
I agree.
He didn't do anything to embarrass himself this whole season. So it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice side of Paulie.
Do we think Bananas is going to stay on red, or is he going to defect?
I think he defects. What do you think?
Do we know?
I don't know. Do we know? I think I probably knew
I would
at one
defect.
point.
If I was Bananas and I was now on a team with 6 people, knowing what kind of target I had on my back, I would defect to blue.
Which spot would you take?
Corey's. I think
you take Corey. Do you have Corey, Fessy,
Basil.
Walmart ammo. Who's the fourth guy? Who am I forgetting? Might be
Chris.
somebody from Big Brother or Survivor whose name I don't remember.
Chris.
Chris.
There you go.
Although he could keep Corey, get rid of Sebastian, and that would be a strong male team.
Yeah.
Well, you know, giving some props to Fessy.
Because I wouldn't, if I was Bananas, I wouldn't get rid of Corey or Fessy because if you do that, especially with Corey, you get rid of a possible shield for yourself.
Right.
When it comes to if you guys lose and you're up for elimination, like you're not the only vet on the team as an option. And I'm still just kind of like blown away that all these people are like, we want the vets out. And I'm like, half of you are vets from the challenge. Fessy, Josh, Paulie, Michelle, Michaela.
I know. Right. But I guess because they weren't brought in, you know, I don't know.
They'll probably get turned on next. I did want to comment on something. I scrolled through it. It was in a confessional at a little earlier point in time during when Johnny Bananas was going on his rant about being voted in. And Josh said in his confessional that Corey and Fessy don't have common sense because he was like, you just made this big move for Survivor, Amazing Race, Big Brother, and they're going to turn it on you at some point. And I wonder if he didn't mean Fessy. I wonder if he meant like Paulie or something because it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, Fessy is Big
I don't know
Brother,
if I even registered that. I'd have to go back and look and see.
I watched it twice because I was like, did I misunderstand?
Well, he is kind of dumb. So
wow. We know.
I was too busy looking at his stupid bandana over his stupid hair. So I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying.
Speaking of his hair, so I actually get to see the preview for next, or for, I don't know if it's next episode or just through the season. And I'm like, Josh looks crazy. His hair's all flopping everywhere as he's talking about rats. Like that people are rats. His hair's just like all flopping because they took it out of the braids. And I'm like, he looks fucking crazy. Are we playing Survivor? I'm like, well, kind of, yeah. You just have a roof and a bed and regular meals. It's kind of the same thing. So what did we think of the episode?
I liked this episode. And the next one, I always get like super excited about like when they have like the 18-wheeler challenges. Because I think that would be something I would want to do, even though I'm scared of heights or whatever. I think it would be fun. So I think that's on the next one. So I was jazzed about that.
Oh,
yeah.
Is the next one where Amanda goes home?
I don't know. I know they say a rookie makes a big move. They said that. Somebody said that. Yeah.
Is it Alyssa Lopez against Tori? It's not all about you, Tori.
Who knows?
Yeah. And then Wes said on Twitter, actually, that's gaslighting because it definitely was. She was a target. And I'm like, or all the vets were a target and they didn't give a fuck because at least one of you's gone.
Right. That's more like it.
I wish when Alyssa said that, she said with like more authority instead of just like calm. But whatever. She got her message across either way.
Yeah, she did. Any other thoughts before we wrap up to head into the next recap that I will merge with this episode?
No. I'm ready for the next episode.
Same.
And ready to go eat lunch.
Oh yeah. Oh, the next one is Amanda.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm watching after next week. Or after Sunday.
You better.
Oh man, Alyssa Lopez will be gone not soon after.
Spoiler alert. Who does Amanda lose to? Spoiler alert.
Oh, who does she lose?
Look. At this
point, they don't know by now.
If they don't know by now, like some of the people who've been in our group for 2 years. I can't believe that lady was like, I don't like being spoiled. Ma'am, you've been in this group for 2 years. Why are you here? Our cover photo literally says, this is a spoilers group, bitch. Or no, this is a spoilers group. Choo choo,
Choo
bitch.
choo.
And it's CT telling you. So how do you not pay attention?
And it's on the deals when you click it to join.
And we tell you 4 times in the rules that you have to answer to.
Yeah.
People.
People.
People are dumb.
But yeah, who does Amanda lose to? Do you remember? Did it say?
I don't remember. I'll look at it like when they first come out, and then I try not to look at it.
Yeah, and then forget about it.
Like
I think it's supposed to be 2 eliminations. I don't know. So because I'm looking in the elimination thread in the group in our group, and it shows the elimination order, and it goes Amira, Janae, Paulie, and the number 4 says Amanda and Lewis.
Yeah, okay.
And then Alyssa L.
Okay.
Wow, all the good people went home.
Oh, what people?
All the good people.
Yeah, and then Dusty goes after Alyssa L.
God.
He won't be
You
there.
sent my hero home. Or sent my hero to elimination.
How much want to bet he got put in against his hero?
That would be
I
amazing.
Lost
He probably,
to my hero.
He probably lays down and goes, "You can win."
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Damn.
We're mean.
We are, but it's okay. It's okay. So we will be back shortly with a recap of episode 4, which airs on Sunday. By the time you hear this, it'll be after Sunday. Do we know how many weeks they're doing this 2-episode thing?
I think it's just 3, right? So is next week's 2 as well, right? Am I wrong about that?
I have to see if there's like a schedule. It's
either 2 or 3 from what I remember.
Same.
I'm ready for it to just be Thursdays though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. And doesn't it air at 10 o'clock?
Yes.
Which is wild to me.
I'm old. I'm not up that late. I watch it the next day on Paramount.
I do too.
Yeah.
I watch it at work the next day. All right, Frankie. Well, thanks for joining us. And then the next part of the recap, it'll be Tia and I and whoever else is available. So not Frankie. So we're gonna pause it here and slam right into episode 4. Ba-da-da-da. All right, guys. So now we are back to recap episode 4 of the Challenge USA2. Like we said, the recaps for episodes 3 and 4 were merging into one podcast recap. And in this second half, we don't have Frankie, but that's okay because we have Theo. Welcome back, Theo.
Hey. Glad to be back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, glad to have you.
Yeah, you always have great commentary. So thank you for joining us to recap episode 4, titled Doublecrossed and Sideswiped. What a mouthful.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So, at the end of episode 3, they left us on a tiny cliffhanger because we didn't know if Bananas was going to defect from the red team or stay. Not surprisingly, he opts to defect to blue and sends Corey to red. I think that's smart. I think he should have kept Corey on the blue team with him. I think he should have sent one of the rookie blue guys over, like maybe Sebastian or Chris. But that's just because Corey could have been his meat shield.
That's what I said last week. I thought he should take Sebastian's place. Get rid of him. We don't know if he's good at anything. Yeah, and then he would have it's a strong team anyway, but it would have been a really strong team with Corey.
I agree to that, but I also disagree that I don't think Bananas should have done that. I think he did something good. The only reason is we know that Corey will always say, "I'm at the bottom of everybody's list," right? He says that all the time.
Right.
To me, that's no different for Bananas, right? So why would Bananas want him on his team? He'll look at him as like essentially the ops, right? So Bananas.
I just thought of it as a meat shield thing. Like if they're gonna vote for the vets, I'd rather have not risk Corey being on the team that won, But I mean, either way, it was smart for him to hop off red. Though it is quite funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That the week he hops off is the week that red wins with their 6 players.
I mean, we know why, but
We'll get into why they won
Yeah.
though.
We will. Well, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
So Blue's kind of pissed because now they got bananas. Some of Blue is pissed, some of Blue is not, obviously. And then there's some partial alliance talk happening. I'm not really sure how it jumped from one to the other, but it's like a half a powwow with certain people from these various alliances. Josh's hair is flopping in the wind. He looks like a crazy man. I'm like, I would have literally sat there and laughed the whole time at him.
He looked like a crazy man and he acted like a crazy man. Look, there's Jack. Jack saying hi. Hey, buddy.
Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I feel like everybody just rats you just scurry away when I ask a question. And all the people are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Who was it? They said he was unhinged, and that was accurate.
And it was Dusty, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
I have
Lewis,
some
one
things
of
to
those
say
two.
about Dusty too. We'll get into that later too.
Okay.
Dusty and its hero bananas.
I just feel like the letter, that was so bizarre to me. Like,
I might have missed that, so I will definitely hear what you have to say about it.
okay.
I watched the episode during work, so it took me like 3 hours to watch it. So I might have definitely missed something. I just think Josh talks a whole lot for someone who doesn't do anything.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Say what you're gonna say.
All right. So with Josh, all right. So it's no secret. It's like I would be annoyed by this guy
Oh yeah.
sometimes. And this season's no exception, except I'll admit he adds to the entertainment factor. I never thought I would say that, but he does. Does it mean
because of his outburst in this
Yes.
episode, or
yes, like mainly that. Let's be honest. As a competitor, he's not good.
right?
Like everybody tells him that every episode too. But he is entertaining. I must say. It's like I love to hate him.
Yeah, you hate watch him.
Yeah, exactly. And even when Banana said something like, "Oh, look at Josh," basically kind of taking up my mantle, like taking something out of my playbook. You know, it's a sight to see.
I thought he was joking when he said that.
No, partially joking, but the thing is, Josh also did, the toast way back in the first episode and stuff like that. So you can see Josh is kind of taking from these vets, or trying to. But
well, Josh is even like still in his little fantasy world that Wes is like his friend. Like,
oh, I thought it was supposed to be his rival. His remember?
Previously was rival, and when he couldn't make that
then,
work, now he's trying to be butt buddies with him.
right. He acted well, we'll get into that too, where he saves, him, and like, why? Wes doesn't care about you.
Josh's game, I don't think he thinks entirely ahead. I think he just thinks in the now.
Yeah.
And that's his problem. Now he might
That's
say
100%.
thinking about future seasons. It's like,
Well,
yeah, but at
I
the
don't
same
know if
time,
I don't know if he's smart enough to think any other way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's like he wants to be everybody's friend. That's something that everybody keeps noticing.
Mhm.
And I find this season's no exception. Except, and we'll talk about this more, I'm sure, but like the voting for Amanda, for example, right? It's like at least he has that, but it's like he wants to befriend all the vets, the
Yeah.
MTV vets, if you want to be specific.
I don't know. I just rolled my eyes a lot during this episode, and every single time I rolled my eyes, it was at Josh.
Yes.
That's all.
No, it's true.
He's ridiculous. He's a ridiculous person.
But
And
I
his hair
kinda get so.
good.
That's why, again, if I had been in that room during that conversation, I would have openly laughed at him the entire time and
Agreed.
went, is this serious right now? Like,
Right.
do you feel like Paul Revere? Because you are not summoning the troops very well, my friend.
Be like, is he doing a bit? Are we supposed to laugh?
Right. is this rehearsal for improv? Like, did I miss something here? And I was like wondering if we missed like part of how this even started, because it just felt like an awkward transition from
Right.
the
It kind
end
of came out
of
of nowhere.
yeah, it was very
Yeah.
oddly placed.
Do we think
And
it's the
then
editing in by any chance?
it's probably the editing. It's
Oh,
absolutely
editing?
the
Yeah.
editing.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah, they're just picking weird spots to like segue into certain moments. And we kind of talked about that when we talked about the whole Paulie and Tori conversation. Like it was just like
Oh yeah.
it was just weird, like how it just popped up, and then like
Mhm.
it just didn't transition the way that I think it should have. Like could have been a little bit differently edited, but who knows who the hell is doing this season? Could be rookie production for all we know.
True.
Because then they go from Crazy Josh to Desi kind of having a moment of doubting herself. She's struggling with her self-confidence, and I'm like, don't
Mhm.
go down the rabbit hole with yourself. Don't
You
Yeah.
do
have
it.
you
She
have to hope
definitely.
that uh, first of all, we all know I love her. I've loved her since Survivor. I love her on here. I think she's just amazing and beautiful, and I love her. Anyway, you hope that somebody, when they get into a spiral like that or whatever, will come out stronger. And I think she's that kind of a person that won't let it get her down. She's just going to come out fighting.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
I
I
mean, everybody
definitely agree.
knows that I'm a fan of Desi too. Like I've been saying that since the beginning, like since the Challenge USA won, right? So
she never like flies off the handle. She never does anything stupid. Um, but she's fun to watch because she's so good. And plus she's gorgeous. Like who wouldn't want to just stare at her? Anyway, girl crush. Yeah.
Same. She is, like I said, she's gorgeous. She seems also like an intelligent and kind person, and it's just not fair. Where's the flaw?
It's like I don't know who said it. One of our members was like, she should make everybody call her Dr. Desi because she's a doctor.
yeah,
Oh my god, and she's
Give her
yeah.
doctorate, yeah.
I'd call her Dr. Desi just
Dr.
because I think it
Desi.
sounds great. Like, Dr.
Yeah.
Desi, I have a question. So then we jump into the daily challenge, which is called Sideswiped, and it's kind of like a weird Connect Four, but on semis.
Yeah.
yeah,
And you
It
essentially
looks fun.
have, yeah, it does look fun. You will have a total of 4 people, 2 versus 2 from different teams. And you have like I think like 8 circle pieces that you have to try and stick on the opposite semi. And whatever team gets the most pieces to stick ends up winning the daily.
yeah.
So, and the red and green team have to send at least one player twice because they have less players than the blue team. But wait, there's a twist. Of
Naturally.
course there is, TJ. There's always a twist. It's a double elimination.
Double
Dun, dun,
elimination.
dun. I'm surprised they started it this early. It's only episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that threw me off too. I was like, so
Yeah.
early?
Normally it's like halfway through when we're getting close and we got to get rid of some people before the final.
Yeah.
Trimming
So,
the fat.
yes. So it's going to be both a male and female. And I also wonder if maybe they did this just to try to avoid it constantly being predominantly female eliminations.
That's what
to
I
the
was
end.
wondering.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So maybe just to kind of keep it, and obviously it's still not going to be even. It'll still be 3 women that went home as opposed to 2 men, but I don't know. That's my theory. I think Josh is sporting a half-assed man bun during this daily. I'm not sure what's going on with his hair.
I tried not to
It
focus
just
on that.
I was like, it's just like half flopping now. What's
It's
happening?
just distracting if you do, you know?
First up, we have Wes and Amanda versus Michelle and Josh. Amanda is dangling like a little evil fairy.
Evil fairy.
A little unseelie chaos fairy, just wanting to fuck shit up for Michelle. She's like, I should have got rid of her weeks ago. Well, you
I
tried. It
kind of
didn't
love it
work.
though. I don't know. That's just me. I love it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Her chaos is humorous this season. It's not been at least not that what we saw. It hasn't been like intentionally demeaning
It's
or
mean and
yeah,
right.
like
Yeah.
she isn't
Yeah.
like going out of her way to really be a verbal asshole. It's like funny. And the only person who really
Her,
got butthurt was Tori, and that was
her
funny too.
tweets are
That's true.
fantastic.
Her tweets have been pretty good. I
Oh, I
agree with
love
that
that.
too. This I think challenge is definitely an advantage for tall people because it
Yeah.
would be easier to swing back and forth. And nobody is playing defense in the beginning. They're all just boop, here's my piece. Boop, here's my piece. Boop, here's my piece. Just back and forth. And I'm like, you guys realize this is a game of points. And I'm surprised, like,
I
I
can
don't
see
know.
them just going for points at first though, because then you want to see how it plays out, which is brought
Yeah.
us to
But I
what
feel
happened.
like they didn't do the defense until the very end. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
well, they didn't. Yeah.
right. I'm like, oh look, Josh dropped 2 pieces, and now Amanda has dropped damn near all the pieces and has to try to play defense, but it's too little,
Yeah,
too
yeah.
late. And then next up you have Chanel and Corey versus Chris and Alyssa S. And I actually said, I was like, I really think someone should play defense first, knock someone's pieces totally out of their hands, and then go ahead and stick up your own.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would have worked if someone would have tried that.
I think
You know,
eventually somebody would have caught on and would have tried to do the same thing.
yeah,
So I think
possibly. I agree.
both sides would have eventually tried that, and it would have been like a stalemate,
Yeah.
and nobody would have won.
That is true. I wonder what would have happened if it would have been time game. It probably would have come down to like time or like whoever got their final piece on the board first or something
Yeah.
silly like that. And I'm like watching this wondering, I wonder if Bananas is regretting switching teams now.
I was thinking that.
Now that the team he's on with a full set of people is seemingly losing.
Yeah. Well.
But oh well. So next up after that we have Cassidy and Sebastian versus Michaela and Louise or Lewis. It's Luis, right?
I think it's Lewis.
I say Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to screw it up. So we'll go with that. I said not Cassidy trying to block Michaela. LOL. That is a big lady you are trying to block.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out very well. I mean, I think like one time it did. But that was very brave of her. I commend her on that. Followed then by Tiffany and Dusty versus Desi and Tyler. And then you have Chanel again with Corey and Alyssa L and Fessy. Yeah. And then finally, with the last ones to go, Blue is not winning at all. They don't have enough points. Green and red are the closest, with red in first. And the only way, and a rookie is the one that came up with this on the blue team. Rookie said the only way to guarantee none of us being automatically put into elimination is you have to play defense and don't let Green put up any points. That's the only way. There's no point in us putting points up. We're not going to win. So that's
That would
exactly
be
what we do.
Smart man Chris that
Yeah.
came up with that.
Oh, how
Yeah.
you like them apples, Bananas?
It was
22 seasons, you couldn't figure that out. So Bananas does the banana thing and goes,
Well-
oh, look, I dropped all my pieces.
Well, apparently Wes thought of it 10 years ago. So
Oh, yeah. What did that?
Did you-
What, throwing
did
a
you hear him say
challenge?
that?
Yeah.
What's funny is I read somebody said that it was Veronica who actually did that first, not Wes.
It
Oh,
probably was
interesting.
Veronica.
Probably
You know, Wes
was.
takes credit for everything.
Yeah, but that
Wes
made me
was
laugh.
the first guy to do it.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably. Michaela pulls Tori's ponytail.
I laughed so much.
Tori's like, hey, no pulling hair. I'm like, bitch, this is like football. If your hair's sticking out of your helmet,
Right.
it's free game.
It's getting grabbed.
It's getting
And
grabbed.
Michaela's response was, "Hey, then stop getting in the way." And I'm like, "Yeah, exactly."
There you go. If you don't get in the way, I won't have to pull you out my way. And Michaela, again, she's a little taller than Tori. She could take Tori. Oh God, that would be a good
Can you imagine an elimination like that?
physical elim
Dude, I would love
between
that.
those two. Oh, that would be a good one. That would be a good one.
I love Michaela anyway, so I would love it if she
Yes.
beat Tori. It'd be
Yes.
amazing.
So obviously red ends up winning. Blue team helps to secure them that win. Because they don't want green to win because green is coming after the vets on the blue team for sure. Monty is not happy. Welcome to the challenge.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
can't believe they pulled the rug out from under us and threw the challenge so we wouldn't win.
But
Welcome
it's
to
so
the
funny coming
challenge.
from Monty because he doesn't even have good gameplay on Big Brother like that.
Yeah,
Does
I
he
never
not?
watched him on Big Brother, so
See, I don't watch Big Brother.
I didn't either, but I remember like I would follow stuff on Twitter sometimes, and it's like Monty wasn't that great politically.
So I actually, there were two things that made me mad about this episode. One was Josh, because it's Josh.
Yeah.
And two was this, because I don't ever like it when somebody throws a challenge.
Mm.
Or Bananas, of course, it's Bananas, comes up with some, it's a legal move, but ethically it's kind of crappy to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like that. Like, play to win, don't lose to win.
See, this is my thing. I agree with you. I really do. Because it's just like when we were talking about people getting help in eliminations.
Yeah.
Similar idea. It's like both of these things happen in the game. Do we like it? No. But is it part of the game? Yes.
That's what I said. It's a legal move,
But it's like
it's crappy.
it sucks. It does. It really does. But unfortunately, it's part of the game because we've seen CT throw challenges. We've seen Wes throw challenges.
Yeah.
Apparently, from where
Bananas has
Veronica
done it
did.
multiple times.
Multiple times. Yeah.
So it's like we can expect it to happen. Do we like it? No.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be a surprise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the game is
Wasn't a
more than
surprise.
just your
I was
performance.
not surprised Bananas pulled something like this.
No, I'm
But
not
it
surprised
sucks
either.
at the
Anything to
same
save your
time.
own skin, which I
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
That's the game. It's survival. And for these vets, it's really a game of survival because these rookies are
Right.
not, you can't waltz all over them like they have on past seasons. These rookies are like, no, we have the numbers. We know we have the numbers. We're going to get rid of you first. And then we'll
Yeah.
start picking off each other from the opposite shows.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously red team wins. Now they have to go deliberate on who to vote in. Josh and Chanel just start bickering back and forth. Was 6 people on this team and they can't decide on shit.
I
Oh,
loved Chanel showing a little attitude though in the deliberation. I think deliberations are my favorite part. I love
Mhm.
it. I love to see what
They've
everybody,
been
is
interesting.
thinking, and if they get into tiffs with each other, I love that.
I think what also adds to that is the confessionals we get geared around those
Yeah.
moments because it really gives us insight as viewers on what they were thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
Because everybody that's in the deliberation, they only get what they're hearing. But we, the viewers, are getting everything. So we get the whole
Right.
picture, right? So it's always interesting. So I think in hindsight, we're seeing the entire thought process. But it's
Yeah.
always interesting to see what they are seeing and what they are thinking of in that moment, especially when it was like, again, Chanel and Josh.
Mhm.
And the way they were bickering, right? Like you could see Josh saying, well, this is my vote. I am not budging. Y'all figure it out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that actually surprised me seeing Josh do that, Normally
He was-
Josh would cave to somebody else, but this time
That
he
is
kind of
true.
down.
But he was acting like a big fat baby.
Oh, I agree. I mean, he's still Josh.
Annoying. Yeah.
He's still Josh.
Gosh. Yeah.
I think Josh kind of has a complex this season because he's used to coming on to the challenge and he is really at the bottom of that totem pole when it comes to the vets in the challenge. Like
Mhm.
they usually outnumber and he's like just barely above rookies. Whereas on this particular format, so many of them have either never done any variation of the challenge or they've only ever done it once. that he, I think, feels like, I've done this several times. I've established myself with some of these people. I'm higher up on the rung. You all should listen to me. And
Well,
it's
and
not working.
he chose the team.
Exactly. On
Yeah.
top of it,
So-
he got to be a team leader.
So are you saying
Michelle is flustered as
So you're
hell
saying that
too.
his power has gone to his head. That's
Yeah, I
exactly
think
what I was
he's
gonna say.
yeah, he's inflating his ego
yes.
more than anybody else. Like
I 100%
Yeah.
agree.
I agree too. I could see it.
Yeah.
Yep. And like I said, Michelle is getting all flustered. Her face is all red. She's like, but Amanda wanted to let me in.
Well, and rightly so, because he's over here
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, he said my name." She's like, "Well, she said my name."
Yeah.
I agree with her. Michelle's getting a
disagree
lot
either.
of flack. Michelle's getting a lot of flack, but it's like I kind of get where she's coming from though.
Yeah, no, I totally got where she was coming from.
So it's like,
I
don't know.
I don't know what it is because I loved her on Survivor. She's actually one of my favorite Survivor players. On a challenge though, I don't want to say it's not a good fit for her. It's just it's weird for me on there. I'm not as behind her as I thought I would be when she came from Survivor,
Right.
but I don't know. But in this instance, she was right.
Yeah, she was right, but just like the way she handles these things, she gets super flustered. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of the problem is she gets so flustered and worked up about it that no one can take her seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just like, oh my God, Michelle, take a fucking breath and sit down. Like it's gonna be okay. And in the end, it doesn't even matter because the vote ends up being for Desi for the women.
Right.
Because Josh, I don't know, is going back and forth about a stalemate. I was like half laughing, half tuned out.
Did I miss why was Josh so on Lewis and Desi? Did they vote for him?
Because he didn't want it to be Wes and Amanda.
Yeah, so he kind of just went with anybody, basically.
But I thought he said they voted for him, or maybe he said Lewis did.
I think
Maybe
he
I
did with
misunderstood.
Lewis, and I think
It might have
Did
been
Lewis vote for
Lewis.
him?
Oh, I remember. He said something about like he used an explanation like, "Oh, who would with all these big moves that we are doing, we actually won something, and you want to waste it on Amanda when you got someone like Desi who's strong.
Yeah.
Women want to
Yeah.
see her in the final versus Amanda, but then somebody else was just like, okay, well, who would you
Who
want
do
to
you
run
want
the
to
final
run
with?
up? Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, exactly. Like you got to think both ways,
Yeah.
you know. So I think that was
Yeah.
what Josh was trying to do. He was trying to take the focus off of Amanda and Wes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he just used those.
It worked for Wes, but even though Amanda didn't get voted in by the winning team, her ass got voted in by everybody else.
9, no, I'm still on that. 9 votes.
9
I was
votes. Even
cracking
TJ was laughing.
TJ,
I
man,
was
I know.
laughing. I couldn't believe that. I'm like 9.
9
Amanda,
your
like,
own team voted against you.
I'm not gonna lie, that was hysterical. And TJ laughing at it was the funniest thing on the episode.
and Amanda was laughing too. Like it was hilarious.
She's
She
like, I
was,
can't
it's
even. So before we even get to that, which by the way, they haven't had a single night out yet. They've had
Well,
no
that's
parties.
true.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I didn't.
And
Oh,
I don't
that's
like
true. I
that.
didn't even think about that.
I want to see them have some fun because that's when they usually really like let their secrets loose.
Things
Too much
happen.
alcohol and they're relaxed. Yeah.
Is this,
And
is this a
hookups.
CBS thing?
It could be a CBS thing.
Could be.
I keep forgetting.
Wait, did they have nights out on the
I didn't watch USA1, so I have no idea.
Oh, I did, and I don't remember anything about it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm not gonna lie. For USA1, all I remember is Desi and like a few others. That's it.
Yeah,
and, like,
same.
and
I
Danny,
don't
and
even,
Danny winning. That's all I remember.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So Lewis gets all pissy because he's the male choice for the green team. And he's all mad that Dusty couldn't protect him. I'm like, Dusty is one of 6 people.
I couldn't believe that. I'm like, that's unrealistic. You think
One person?
just that one guy? Like, come
Yeah.
on. Dude.
And his hero got switched to a different team, so it's not like
Yeah,
he
but
could even use that card.
That's the same excuse or whatever Corey did with Bananas. He was like, I was outnumbered. What was Dusty gonna do? He was outnumbered.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
the game, people get with it.
I know, I agree. It shit happens. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
Tiffany and Michelle start bickering over why is Desi in versus somebody else. The rookie female alliance is kind of like in chaos, and they're like, okay, well, we can only really protect each other, and we're not. I'm like, you guys have too many people. You can't protect everyone, especially not
Right.
when you're all on totally different teams. And they're learning, this is a mostly rookie game, for sure.
Yeah.
So Michaela's voting is so erratic. She votes for Wes. She's like, even though I don't want him to go, wouldn't mind seeing him go in. I'm like, girl, you only have like 6 people on your team. You cannot afford to lose anybody else.
But that smirk when she did it got
Yes.
me. Like, that got me. I'm like, I love it.
I can see why Wes is like, Michaela is one of the most paranoid people I've ever played with. And I put down LOL at Amanda getting 9 votes. TJ is in hysterics laughing.
I was laughing too.
Here's where you can tell the green team, even though I love Michaela and I like Desi, and Wes doesn't count because he's in the minority as far as numbers, they're idiots. Why in the fuck would you set it up that 3 green players are going into a double elimination? So you're guaranteeing to have one less person at the very least, up to 2.
This is where I give the red and blue teams credit, because they were thinking ahead. The green team, I don't think they are, and we're gonna see how it plays out, I guess. But that was a bad idea.
It was, because Chris and Amanda end up being the options. Chris is from the blue team. Was he on Survivor or Big Brother in the past?
Survivor, and he won Survivor.
Oh, okay.
Chris?
He actually was one of the. Okay. Was he the? I think he was the first person voted out, or I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. He was one of the early vote outs, and he went to like a Redemption Island type thing.
Oh wow!
Came back and won.
And won the whole thing. That's hilarious.
I remember he won. I didn't remember how, but yeah.
Yeah. So he's awesome. You can't sleep on him.
No.
Yeah, he's smart.
Clearly.
He's athletic. He's very cute.
Yes, he is easy on the eyes, and he seems to not be an asshole yet.
No, he's not. He's a good guy.
So Amanda and Chris, like I said, are the Hopper selections. Like I said, the green team, y'all are idiots. And this is basically a version of Paul Russell. And when I saw that, I was like, ooh, Amanda girl, you fucked.
Yep. I said the same thing.
It's like Jasmine going against Laurel.
I'm like, not Desi. I'm like, you're going against Desi?
I'm sitting in there watching this, and I'm talking to myself. I was like, oh no, Amanda's done for. Blah, blah, blah. My husband's in the office, and he's like, are you talking to me? It's like, no, just ignore me.
No, I'm talking to the TV. It's okay.
I'm talking to myself.
I do want to say that I think it is super shitty that they only had to go 1 round.
Yeah, it's right.
I was like, that's 1 round?
That's 2 out of 3. Come on.
Yeah. I'm like, pussies. 1 round. And they could take their hands off of it and stuff, as long as like the opponent didn't get it to the outsider. I was like, this is a watered down version of like a pole wrestle.
No, it absolutely was. Yeah.
So I mean, Chris and Lewis, it was a nice little fight. Chris ends up winning. And then, I mean, Desi wins. I mean, Amanda did not give up. She put up she's a scrapper.
She did. She held on longer than I thought she would.
Yeah,
she held on. Slammed too.
She was.
Wow.
Who
still holding on?
Who was the pole wrestle? Who was that? Oh, why is it escaping me right now? They were throwing the person down, ended up breaking.
Wasn't it like LT?
That was LT and Ace or Tyler. It's Tyler because he broke Tyler's wrist or something.
I was like,
his ribs.
Is LT and Amanda.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, oh shit, she was picking her up.
Because people were cringing too in the arena, and I was like, yeah, you should be. Like, it can get intense.
Yeah.
Again, ask
Yeah.
LT. Letarian will tell you.
And I mean, size wise, I know Desi, she's like at least 5'8". She's,
Yeah.
she's got Devin Simone arms.
Yeah.
She's got some guns. And
But,
Amanda she's a petite lady.
You got to think too, you have to think further ahead too, because you put Desi in knowing she's probably going to beat Amanda, coming back into the game knowing she also can choose to defect. So that's something that people need to think about too. I mean, at some point it's not going to matter because you're going to have so many people that are just good. Amanda, we all know she was the weakest link. So, but now you've
Yeah.
given Desi this opportunity, which
Mhm.
we'll talk about.
Yep. So when it comes to the question of defection, Chris is smart and stays on blue because they have a full fucking team and pretty strong guys side. And now Desi's like, do I want to go back to a team of only 4 other people, which would make me 5? Everybody else has 6 and 8. Or do I want to defect? And she defects to blue and
course she
sends
does.
Alyssa S on over to green. And Alyssa S is like, oh, it's fine. Girl, you shit yourself,
Yeah.
because I would shit myself if I was you.
I actually, because I don't know anything about her, I actually would put her as the weakest link and then Amanda. So I don't know anything about this girl. So Desi
don't
picked
know
the
her
right
either.
person because that just makes that team stronger. So,
Yeah. Oh God, now blue's definitely a lot stronger.
oh yeah.
Like I said, eventually it's going to get to a point where the teams, I think, are going to get broken up and it won't even matter who's on what.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm
But in the
hoping for that.
meantime, she did the right thing for herself.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree.
I did not see the previews for next week. Did anybody else see them?
Yes, but do I remember what happened? No, I don't think it was anything special. I don't think it was
Okay.
anything special. But going back to, you didn't see the letter.
Yes,
Oh,
the
yeah.
letter.
So I guess Dusty wrote Bananas a letter basically gushing all over him, and I don't know. It was weird. That's weird. I feel like he probably watches Bananas while he sleeps.
Or well, is he doing Anissa and watching when he showers?
Maybe. Maybe.
That's
Weird.
look. There are people, look, I'm a big fan of the challenge, and I could only imagine would be like actually being able to play with some of these people, but I could not bring myself to write them a letter gushing over how much I love them on the show while I'm on the show with them.
Right. I don't know. It's just weird. It's very weird.
Bananas' commentary killed me though.
What was the commentary?
He said something
How
like,
did you miss this?
I don't know. I think somebody must have distracted me.
So he literally written the letter, and then when he was done, he was like, "What? Are we in love or something?" I was done.
You got to go back and look it up, though.
You have to
It's
watch
an
that
odd,
scene.
it's an odd
I
situation.
will. I will go back and rewatch it. Is it in like the beginning, middle, or the end?
I guess towards the middle, right?
I'm pretty sure it was in the middle,
Yeah.
Okay. I'll skip through
but
till
it
I
won't be
find
hard
it.
to find.
You'll see Bananas holding
Oh my God, I
a
can't
letter.
wait.
An actual handwritten letter.
And you know what's funny about that? That letter, you remember when Fessy a while back wrote a letter?
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of too. And I'm like, no.
It wasn't.
Just
He had like all
no.
kinds of like horrible grammatical errors and
It's
stuff.
like one of those letters that you get in elementary school where it's like, "Hi, I think you're cute. Do you want to be my girlfriend?" Check yes
or no.
or no. And you like fold it up and pass it in class.
Yep. Yeah, that was odd.
Oh, good times, good times. So any final thoughts on this episode, or I don't know if there was any behind the scenes tea that was released of things we were missed or wasn't shown to us.
I mean,
I don't
if we
think
need some, we
so.
could just check Amanda's Twitter. Let's be real.
I was gonna say Amanda would let us know.
Yeah, the only thing, oh sorry, that was my microphone. The only thing I saw her say was laughing that Michaela pulled Tori's ponytail and she wound it like 10 times.
She said something about ripping out the extensions.
Let me imagine.
I will say, I thought that she gave a really, really sweet, heartfelt hug to Desi at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, so that was nice.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Oh, and she said me and Lewis got turned at the airport and should talk to everyone.
Oh
Then
yeah.
ate
That sounds
McDonald's
like
like
a
fat cows. It was awesome. He's my bro.
That sounds like a Oh, gee.
I wonder if they'll have her on the Challenge podcast.
Why have they never had her on there? Does she do podcasts?
Because she hates
Apparently
Tori.
not.
Well,
But if Devin's doing
I
it,
thought,
she might do
is
it.
it her that doesn't like Scott? Wait, who doesn't like
Yeah,
Scott?
she hates Challenge Mania.
Yeah.
It's her and Ashley Mitchell, but for very different
Yeah.
reasons.
Right. She should come on our podcast.
Ooh, if it's both, I'm okay with both.
I don't know. I don't know if she'll do a fan podcast. Frankie would like Frankie lives in the same city as her. He needs to go find wherever she works,
I don't think
injure
she does
himself.
podcasts, but- Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think
don't
between
know.
the two, Ashley would do it.
I would love to have Ashley on.
You know I would.
I feel like
Yeah, I know
you
you would.
probably would have to pay her.
True.
There's some people I feel like would only do it if you paid them, and I'm not paying anybody because no one's paying me.
There was
So.
a cute exchange between her and Cara though.
Ashley and Cara or Amanda and Cara?
Ashley had posted some pretty picture the other day. I'm sure Theo saw it.
Oh, I
And
did.
Cara
Cara
put like
had
heart eyes
comment.
emoji or something.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Ashley
okay.
said, hey, you and Paulie come stay. You know, it's like an open invitation or
Speaking
whatever.
of,
like,
I
with
forgot to
pressure,
bring this up the last
then-
time.
I think she said with pressure, and then Ashley's like, no pressure needed, which means
Oh
she's
yeah,
down
yeah,
to go
something
visit.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Paulie and Tori follow each other now on Instagram,
Oh, do they?
Oh, okay.
and I don't know why. Because she definitely doesn't follow Cara and vice versa. And I mean, obviously they
Okay.
had that little chat, but I'm like, are you guys like friends now? Like, what's happening?
I'm just gonna say this real quick. I know that he and Cara have an open relationship, but if that is open to Tori, I'm done. I'm so done.
I mean, maybe that's part of the thing. Like, maybe it's because Tori, always wanted to smush it with Cara since, she likes ladies like that.
I don't want them to have anything to do with her.
I mean, agreed, but.
She can go hang out with Sebastian.
So, all right, guys, anything else that we want to chat about?
No. Overview. Josh was annoying. Says he's amazing.
I
End
will
of
ask one thing though.
What's that?
How do we feel about the 2 episodes a week?
I don't like it.
Not a fan?
For podcasting purposes, I don't.
For
like it.
podcasting purposes, yeah. For vision, like to see it, yeah. I mean, of course, the longer the better. But yeah, I don't like.
So, like, I like it, but it's like at the same time, it throws me off because you're
I think it's
expecting.
only gonna be one more week, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I
It
think
gives
so
me,
too.
I think this gives me like the CBS vibe in general because then it's like Big Brother will play how many times a week. as an
See, but
example.
that's why I can't get into Big Brother because it's on every freaking day.
It's
Or
on
you
I
too
just
have
much.
every
tried
other.
on like 2 or 3 seasons. I've tried and I just can't get past
Same.
the first like 3 episodes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get so behind so fast on all the live feeds, trying to keep
Yeah.
up with everything. Oh my god.
What was it? The All-Star season was the only one I watched. It actually took the time to, and then after that, I just said, "No, I'm done."
Yeah.
Whatever I need to know, I'll see it on Twitter.
Well, I can deal with 2 episodes for 2 to 3 weeks, whatever it is, and then Thursday nights. I'm happy about that because it's nice
Same.
because it comes on Thursday night. Friday, I can watch it as soon as I get up on Paramount. So yeah.
Same.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us and listening to us recapping episodes 3 and 4 of the Challenge USA2, which airs currently on Thursdays and Sunday. What is it, like 10 o'clock Eastern time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on Thursdays. On CBS, it's also, I believe, airing on MTV at the same time, and then it is available the next day on Paramount Plus, uncensored, which, by the way, is my favorite way to go.
Absolute favorite. Yes.
F-bombs all day. Love it.
We need the cussing, people.
We do. It spices up our lives. If you are not already, be sure to follow us on Instagram. We are The Challenge Unbothered. Our Facebook groups are The Challenge Unbothered. We also have Entertainment Unbothered, where we talk about everything else that's not the challenge. It's like Big Brother and Survivor and all that good stuff. We also have a couple of smaller groups like Cooking Unbothered for all your cooking desires and needs and wants. And then just to put a little smile on your face, we have Animal Memes Unbothered, which is my favorite because it's always funny and cute videos and pictures and memes of animals. And
you
how could you go wrong?
Be happy with animals.
Exactly. On YouTube,
You might even be able to hear my bulldog snoring next to me.
I do not hear Abby, but if I did, really I would giggle. It's very cute. On YouTube, we are the Unbothered Podcast, as well as on Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever you can get your podcasts. So we'll see you next time, guys.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.